Alright, so today I got a friend that I'm doing his basket on his Harley. I know the channel is all things Buicks, but you know, we'll be getting off into a few other things. I just want to show you how to wet sand and buff. Since I'm not that close to being able to buff a car. I got a 77 that I'll be buffing out as soon as it get a little warmer here in Wisconsin, but I'm gonna just walk you through the steps on how to wet sand, what grit sandpapers to use. Okay, as you see here, I'm just gonna walk you through how to wet sand. Now I'm using 1500 wet and dry sandpaper. Now, so I'm using 1500 sandpaper. Just got a little bottle of water. Using a nice microfiber towel. And let's see. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get this in the camera with you. So what it is that clear, it's got a lot of orange peel in it. So if you see the roughness there, that's what I'm working on getting out of here with the 1500. Then I come back and come with a lighter grit, a sandpaper. All I'm doing is getting this flat. So, like I say, I'm trying to stay away from the edge of because if all that's gonna do is tear up my pad, I'll probably put some tape across there. I'll tape that off where hopefully it won't tear up my buffing pad. And I put quite a few coats of clear on here. I normally put 3.5 coats of clear. So I have a coat, you know, the sand off, and still have enough room to buff. So now you see here now, see how that's flat? You don't see all that orange peel, but see up against where that bracket is, like I said, I would have liked for that bracket not to be there. So I could have just came all across here, but I'm gonna work this out just a little bit more, but I can't get too close to that because I won't be able to buff the whole thing out. So, but all of that was in here too, so that's gone now. So that's perfectly good and flat. Now down at the bottom, you still see the orange peel. See it here? After we get that dry, you still see the orange peel, and that's what we're getting out of here with the 1500. And I like the hand sand instead of using the hook and sand orbital sander. But my next step, I will be using the orbital sander. So let's see how that comes out now. Blow on it. Get that to dry. See now that same area It's nice flat. So I'm gonna wet sand this whole thing with 1500. And like I say, you see it's still rough right in this area. So I do this whole thing. I'm gonna do this whole bucket for this bicycle, for this motorcycle, and then I come back and show you my next step. So okay, so now I wet sanded this whole thing down with 1500 grit. Now I'm gonna put with the sander, and I got 3,000 grit. So now we'll come through with 5,000. Same kind of pad as the 3,000. And you come through with the 5,000. And the main thing when you're doing this, you just don't want to burn through. I put 3.5 coats of paint clear on here, so I'm not really worried about busting through. But if you ever bust through, you'll start seeing black on either your pad, or when you go to wipe it, you'll see the black on the towel. So the main thing is, you know, the corners. You know, the corners don't really ever have orange peel or need to be sanded, so you don't really want to sand on those corners. And the main thing is not busting through, but we'll go over this whole thing with 5,000 now, and then we'll come through and be ready to start buffing.